Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks. And here we stand, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's Dan, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday!
It's Friday!
Ah, yeah, we made it. The studio is in full working order, so I can now interact with young Daniel. How are you doing, Dan? Yay!
I'm doing great. It's Friday.
It's Friday, come on. And, Dan, you want to tell people what happened yesterday?
I won an honorable mention.
An honorable mention?
Honorable mention.
Yeah, well, okay, I won an honorable mention. That's Dan being humble. He got 4th place in a prize out of 44 people, was it, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. For a marketing proposal he put forward. Yeah, very proud of Dan today. Oh, yeah, I'm not used to this feeling. What is this feeling? Is it pride? Anyway, friends, welcome. You're joining us live at 8:31 a.m. Central European Time on the 29th of May, 2026. Welcome. That's right. Just in case you're wondering, are we live or is this another pre-recording? No, the studio is fixed. Oh, yeah, my stress is slowly ending. The dogs are getting better. My toe, although still kind of broken, is starting to heal somewhat. It's quite itchy today. And there you go. How are you doing this morning on this beautiful Friday? The Bridge is with us. She says, good morning, beautiful Bonnie Bouncy Bohemians. I'm back. Anyway. So yeah, good for you, Dan. Very proud. What did you win?
A €50 card for the Corte Inglés.
Oh, yeah, it had to be a Pijo shop, didn't it? Couldn't be. What can you get for €50 in Corte Inglés?
I don't know.
Chuches. Anyway, but no, congratulations. He deserved it. Although he didn't let me read it, he did let me skim it very quickly, and it was very, very good. So I'm very proud. Anyway, shall we see what's coming up in today's show? A light-hearted one, as we tend to do on a Friday. We ask our 100 humans today to, oh my gods, name a sport that really isn't a sport. Nombra un deporte que en realidad no sea un deporte. That's today's 100 humans question. And our unpopular opinion, something we're resurrecting from many years ago. It's esports are real sports. Los esports son deportes de verdad. What's an esport, Dan?
Video games.
Yeah, it's playing video games competitively. Yeah, they although you may not think it, they do draw in massive crowds. I don't think we're very far away from seeing esports taken very, very seriously. Are esports televised? I know they're very big on Twitch. A lot of people watch them. Like, they compete with the viewing figures of actual sporting events. In many cases, way more people watching them. I'm not sure they're televised as yet, but I don't think we're very far away from that at all. I mean, look, if they can televise poker, geez, just a bunch of people playing cards with sunglasses on, they can televise esports. But are they real sports? That's the question that we're asking you today, but we'll get to a bit of that later. Carmen's also with us. Good morning, friends. How are you doing, Carmen? He can buy a shoe for his left foot. If he wants a pair, he'll need another prize. It's a true story, Dan. I think you get a t-shirt, a plain t-shirt. Vero says, good morning, beautiful bohemians around the universe and beyond. Friday, I'll be lurking today. Sorry. Oh, wah, wah, wah. No problem. Welcome all the same. If you want to join us live, if you want to be as cool, as sexy, as charming, as intellectual, as influential as our live audience, you can join me on twitch.tv/professional bohemian. That's twitch.tv/professional bohemian. That's Bohemio Profesional, pero en inglés. And of course, you can also join me on Instagram. My Instagram account is @professional bohemian. Or if you're extra specially sexy, you know where you can find me on Patreon, where you get all the links for the show, some original series only available to my Patreon community, things like that. Professional Bohemian, Bohemio Profesional, pero en inglés. All right, should we get into some news? Before I do, Dan, what's your plan for the weekend?
I don't have any plan.
No?
No.
Okay, are we still studying for exams, our friends?
No, they have finished.
They have
But they don't
finished.
know they.
You're going to get drunk this weekend. You know, you won a prize, Dan. Your friends have stopped studying. If I don't hear a story of cocaine and hookers on Monday, I'm going to be really disappointed. Don't have me swell with pride today because you won an award. And then on Monday say, well, I just played Mario Kart. Come on, dude. Make Uncle Rob proud.
I'm doing Esports. It's an Esports.
Yeah, okay. You'll be doing esports. All
Do
right.
you have any plan?
Me, yeah, I am again with the lady's family this weekend. Her sister's travelled over with her boyfriend, so I'll probably see them on Saturday, and then mercifully, I hope on tonight and on Sunday I'll just be relaxing. I need it. It's been a hell of a week this week. Good morning to Mr. Cruzando joining us in the chat. How you doing, Mr. Cruzando? All right, should we get into some news today? Let's address the big sweaty elephant in the room, Dan. No, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about the heat wave. La ola de calor, you call it over here, right? A deadly heat wave hits Europe with decades-old temperature records falling. This is from the Washington Post. Una ola de calor mortal golpea Europa mientras caen récords de temperatura que llevaban décadas vigentes. It's true. I think just in May, 2 heat records were smashed. But that was last week, maybe even more now. But yeah, 2 days consecutively, the maximum heat in May was broken. But you know what, Dan? Climate change doesn't exist, does it? If that's what you're thinking, just go and dip your head in some cold water, then come back. Western Europe is in the grip of a dangerous early heat wave, with temperatures soaring 15 to 20 degrees above average and long-standing May records, falling across France, UK, Spain, Portugal, and beyond. In France, at least 7 deaths were described as possibly heat-related, including drownings and fatalities during sport events, while Britain issued water safety warnings after 9 deaths in water-related incidents during the hot spell. France recorded its hottest May temperature ever at 98.8 Fahrenheit in Hossegor. I'm not sure how to pronounce that in French. Hossegor. Probably something. Is that racist when I do it like that, Dan? I think not. I think I'll be okay. While London's Kew Gardens and Hordern Airport in Wales also broke records that had stood for decades. What makes this heatwave especially alarming is not just the daytime highs, but the unusually warm nights, which leave people and homes with little chance to cool down. The article explains that a powerful heat dome over the Iberian Peninsula and Western Europe is trapping hot air, reducing cloud cover and pushing unsettled weather away. With relatively low air conditioning use across Europe, overnight heat becomes even more dangerous, and the article notes that climate warming is making already extreme heat events more likely to push into record territory. Some moderation is expected later in the week as the heat dome weakens. Yeah, are you suffering with the heat, Dan? How are you in the heat?
I empiezo a delirar.
Empiezas a ligar.
Delirar.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why is he starting to flirt? Dan, this is not the place. Yeah, for me, you know what's worse, Dan, is the evening temperatures. Evening temperatures are the worst for me. Because I can put the aircon on through the day, but then when you're laying in bed, soy demasiado tacaño para poner el aire durante la noche. I'm too tight-fisted to put air conditioning on all night. So I have a network of fans cooling me. You know, like when a whale beaches and there are guys throwing buckets of water on it. That's basically me overnight. Yeah, the evening temperatures are absolutely terrible for me. Terrible. But you're sleeping okay, you're getting enough rest. I'm starting to atar cables, man. I'm starting to understand why you might be grumpy in the mornings. Anyway, so if you are out here in Western Europe or you are suffering from the effects of the heat dome, take care out there. Drink plenty of water. If you can sit in front of a fan, do, if you can afford air conditioning, which is like how they bury the lead on this one, because electricity prices soaring. If you can afford to put the air conditioning on, please do. All right, let's move on to our second piece of news today. Sent to me, Dan. Sent to me because we were talking about movies, right? In yesterday's show. Mapped. Europe's favourite film and TV genres. Me ha mandado una mapa. Un mapa. But of course, yeah, it's a masculine word that ends in an A. Thank you. Spain, go and give your head a wobble. Los géneros favoritos de cine y televisión en Europa. Okay, Dan, what do you think is Spain's favourite genre? Let me give you some options, right? You have drama, fantasy, crime, sci-fi, horror, comedy, or animated.
Comedy.
You think it's comedy?
Sin duda.
Sin duda. And if it was something else in that list other than comedy, what would you say?
Maybe drama.
Maybe drama. Least likely in Spain, do you think?
I think the least likely is fantasy.
Fantasy. It's actually sci-fi, Dan. It's weird. Why is it everyone I know seems to hate sci-fi, but it's the most streamed genre in Spain? Odd, right? In Portugal, our closest neighbours, of course, the most popular genre is animated. Adults not watching TV, I guess. That's not to poo-poo you. I watch cartoons too. And in France, our next neighbours, it's drama. Europe's streaming tastes are far from uniform, and this new map of Europe's favourite film and TV genres shows just how sharply preferences differ by region. Using the first quarter 2026 streaming data from Flix Patrol via Privacy Journal, the article finds that drama is the most popular genre across much of southern, northern, and parts of Eastern Europe. Includes countries such as France, Italy, the UK, Croatia, Bulgaria, and Lithuania. The pattern suggests that prestige television and character-driven storytelling still hold broad appeal, even as streaming platforms continue to globalize what audiences can watch. Beyond drama, the map reveals some striking regional contrasts. Sci-fi leads across a broad stretch of Central and Eastern Europe, Belgium, Czechia, Spain, Poland, Slovakia, Slovenia, and Ukraine, making it the continent's second favourite dominant genre. I mean, of course, I think, well, how can it be when I don't know anyone that's watching sci-fi? But then you kind of, you draw a broader, or you sweep a broader brush, and of course, Stranger Things is sci-fi, isn't it? And everybody watched that. What's your favourite sci-fi, Dan?
I don't really know.
You don't like Star Wars? You never watched Stranger Things?
I've watched Stranger Things, but because I wanted to watch it with people. So.
Did you watch it with Mrs. Dan?
Yes, but I think it was FOMO. The reason.
Most of my television watching in the past was to be involved in the conversation, not because I liked the show.
Yes, I think that happened to me with Stranger Things.
The exact same thing happened to me with Game of Thrones. I hated Game of Thrones. And I started to really hate Walking Dead. But I watched it just so I could have something to talk about with people the following day, Elsewhere, comedy ranks first in countries like Germany, Denmark. Fantasy stands out in Greece as part of the Balkans. And animated content performs strongly in places such as Cyprus and Portugal. Sweden is the biggest outlier of all, standing alone as the only European country where horror ranks as the top streaming genre. I confess, Dan, I'm a horror fan myself. You?
Not too much, no.
No? What is your favourite genre?
I think comedy.
Comedy.
Yes.
Comedy. Saw a really good movie last night, Over Your Dead Body, which is a mixture of comedy and horror. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. Very gory. Very gory. about a couple that go to a cabin to kill each other. But it is really hilarious and very gory. I do recommend it. Anyway, friends, on that note, look at us, me and Dan, just shooting the shit, as we say. Charlando. We'll move on to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Cabos, loose ends, not wires. Ah, really? I thought it was cables. Atar cables. It's cabos, atar cabos.
Atar cabos.
Okay, so to tie ends. Okay, thank you for that bridge. My God, look at me. I'm actually learning something today. This can still happen, even at my advanced age. All right, unpopular opinion today is with regards to esports. Esports, as Dan correctly said, video games, right? At least that's what we associate esports with. I'm just very quickly praying to St. Google about esports so I can get a good definition here for you. What is an esport? Here we go. Esports often take the form of organized multiplayer video game competitions, particularly between professional players, played individually or as teams. And of course we all say, well, look, these aren't real sports, are they? They're not even in the same room. They're not exerting any energy. Well, at least two of those, or at least one of those statements is incorrect, isn't it? As we saw on yesterday's lunchtime show, you do exert a lot of energy. The example made there of chess grandmasters burning an incredible amount of calories. Someone said that one chess grandmaster lost 5 kilograms per tournament. And that is just through concentration alone. And let me remind you, friends, chess is considered a sport, as is poker. So if these two things can be sports, then why not esports? Why not video games? That's what we're talking about today. How do you think they voted on Instagram, Dan?
I think they voted false.
They did vote false. Yeah, strikingly so. Around 80% of people voted false today. How do you feel about this?
They are not sports.
They're not sports. Is chess a sport?
For me, no.
Yeah, but it is considered a sport.
Well,
So, okay, are you saying that esports aren't a sport for you, but should be considered a sport like chess and poker?
no, they shouldn't be considered sports.
Okay. It's just, look at that. The vote has just changed already. 81% now saying false. Well, let's get into the false column, shall we? And see if we can dive into the mind of an opinion you might personally agree with. In the con column, esports are competitions, not sports. Lack of significant physical exertion. Okay, then explain to me golf. Donald Trump plays golf, and the man looks like a tangerine, right? And golf is a sport. Talking about lack of physical exertion, there's walk or even ride from one place to another and hit a ball. Chess, poker. Traditional definitions of sport usually involve athletic physical activity, which esports minimize. Let's continue. Games are owned by corporations. Unlike football, FIFA, or basketball, esports depend on private companies controlling rules, updates, and existence. Also, football's not a sport then, right? Football's not a sport. FIFA controls football, doesn't it? Never mind. Limited physical health component. Sports historically involve physical conditioning and bodily performance in a way esports generally do not. Again, chess, poker, golf. I rest my case, Your Honor. Donald Trump regularly plays golf. Would you consider him an athlete? I would consider his golf cart an athlete. Like the Sherpa that's dragging that fat sack of... Well, anyway, I'm not gonna get into Donald Trump, Dan. Go on, you were gonna say something. Tell me.
No, I was not gonna say no.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let's see. Digital environments are fundamentally different. Competing through software feels qualitatively different from competing through physical movement in real-world space. Well, in chess and in poker and all these table games that we consider sports, you're competing All right, in a physical space, but you're not actually standing on a field. You sat around a table. So let's give our little heads a wobble, shall we, friends? Shall we, for a second? Fast-changing ecosystems. Games can disappear or change dramatically, making esports less stable than traditional sports. Well, let me tell you something. Esports are regularly outgunning regular sports in terms of participation and in terms of viewership on live streaming platforms. So perhaps it's not the sports that need to change. It's not the esports that are, as the elves say here, less stable. Perhaps it's your traditional view of sports that could do with a bit of a refreshment in definition. Do you enjoy working from home, Dan?
Yeah.
But it's not real work, right? It's not real work because you're not sat in the office, right? You're doing it digitally, so that can't be real work. Working from home, can it? Can't be real work, that. What do you think?
To be sincere, my job is digitally here too. So.
Yeah, but you're not here physically. You're not exerting yourself physically. You know, you're just clicking buttons, so that can't be real work. It's not real work. Working from home digitally is not real work. When you have a conversation with someone via Zoom or via, I don't know, WhatsApp video, that's not a real conversation, is it? You're not really, because you're not sat there physically. Can't be real conversation, that. It's not really having a conversation. See how ridiculous the definition is when we compare it against other definitions we hold quite dear? Let's move on to the true column, where 19%. Oh, the vote shifted and then shifted back. Yeah, we're still on 19%. A lot of you voted today, by the way. Thank you for that. 19% of people said true. It is a real sport. So let's look at those arguments for a second. Esports qualify as real sports. They require a high level of skill and training. Professional gamers practice for thousands of hours, developing reaction speed, strategy, coordination, and teamwork. All things, I think you might agree, are wholly dependent or wholly linked to any kind of sports definition. Fast reaction speed, hours of training, thousands of hours of training, strategy, coordination, teamwork. Sounds like a sport to me. Competition is structured like traditional sports. Esports have leagues, tournaments, coaches, rankings, analysts, and professional organizations. Sounds like a sport to me. Mental performance is central to many sports already. Activities like chess, shooting, motorsports rely heavily on precision, strategy, and mental endurance rather than raw physical activity. I'm going to repeat that just so it sinks in a little bit. Activities like chess, shooting, motorsports rely heavily on precision, strategy, and mental endurance rather than raw physical activity. No, but it's different because they're there. Then if it's different because they're physically present, then your online work is not real work, right? Because you're not really there.
But that's like saying going to the casino is like going to the gym. It's an strategy.
No, that's gambling, Dan. Gambling is not the same as playing a competition where there's a winner and a loser, is there? It's gambling because it's random chance. There is skill involved in esports. It's dependent on skill rather than strategy. A lot of people would argue poker is heavily reliant on skill as well. But then poker is aired on sports networks, right? So there is a big difference, right? I understand what you're saying, like playing, going to a casino is a sport as well then. Well, no, it's not. It's gambling, isn't it? It's like saying the lottery is a sport. I would never make that argument because it's not. There's no competition involved. Anyway, let's continue. Physical demands still exist. Reflexes, high hand-eye coordination, stamina, stress management are crucial at elite levels. Massive spectator culture. Millions watch esports events globally, creating fan communities similar to traditional sports. And I recently learned there are some esports teams that have massively popular followings. It's not just the game itself, it's like the leagues and the independent teams have massive followings, a lot like we would consider traditional football or basketball teams. Team dynamics mirror athletic competition. Communication, role specialization, discipline, and strategic coordination are fundamental. Yeah, okay. The Bridge has another one here. Well, we'll read your comments when we get back. I want your arguments as to why they are or are not a real sport. And I will post a poll in the chat where you can cast your vote. Esports are real sports, true or false, but do leave some comments for me to read at the second half of the show. Guys, we're going to take a very quick commercial break while you guys cast your opinions, and when we get back, we'll see how you did. All right, friends, see you in just a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. If you just tuned in, what did we speak about? Well, we spoke about the heat dome currently boiling Europe. Oof, it's hot. It's hot out there. And what did they do through the heat dome, Dan, yesterday? They turned off all the air conditioning. Right, am I lying, Dan?
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. This week, Dan, can go to hell. This week has been 5 Mondays. But we're back. We're back. The radio's back. It's all working. The air conditioning is working. Oh, my God. Finally, friends. And then we spoke about the most popular streaming genres across Europe. It seems to be drama had the most interest, with some outliers, like here in Spain, for example. For those of you international listeners, we do broadcast from Madrid, Spain. It seems to be that fantasy is the sci-fi is the number one genre on streaming. I mean, I'm not surprised. I do like sci-fi as well. I'm not surprised that it's popular. I'm just surprised that it's popular here. I seem to be a bit of an outlier in this country with my fascination with sci-fi. And then we moved into the realm of esports. Yeah, esports, of course, attract massive global audiences that rival or surpass many traditional sports for total viewership, particularly among the demographic of 18 to 34-year-olds. I mean, that is, of course, with the exception of things like the World Cup and big events like the Olympics. But esports are still pulling in higher numbers than quite a lot of kind of your average games. So it's interesting. I brought up the example of poker, right? Poker is a game, and it's luck-based. There is some skill involved. I did actually do a little Google search with regards to this. Poker, like many other games, is much more luck-based than traditional sports, while players typically need a lot more skill to determine who the winner will be. That said, poker is still very much a skill-based game, and thought as such since Doyle Brunson's Super System was first published in 1979. However, if you tune into like Eurosport or Sky Sports or any sport channel, you will see poker there, won't you? So, yeah, it is very much a game, not a sport. But chess, as I mentioned before, is very much counted as a sport, which is kind of odd to me. I mean, 100% skill dependent, like a lot like esports in that. But yeah, I'm mentioning this because Carmen here said in the chat, is online poker an esport? No, it's gambling. It's a game. It's not. There is a skill component, but it's much more dependent on luck, isn't it? And anything where you're winning depends on luck, I would consider a game rather than a sport. However, poker, professional poker, is aired on television. So what the hell do I know? What the hell do I know, Dan? Have I changed your mind at all here, Dan? Have I shifted your needle anywhere towards esports being a sport?
No.
Ah, come on.
No.
But that's just you personally. That's just your feeling, right?
I think that people who consider esports real sports just want to put their athletics on their Tinder profile for spending 5 hours a day playing video games. I mean,
Dude, I'm just going to go ahead and guess here. If you dedicate thousands of hours to playing video games, you don't care if people think you're an athlete or not. I mean, look, I dedicate hours and hours to playing video games. I wouldn't describe myself as an athlete because I simply don't care.
well, then you are not an esport.
And plus, let me tell you something. I think it would be more impressive to put esports professional than athlete. Anyone can go to the gym. Not everyone can be a professional video gamer, right? Yeah. I know I'm difficult to argue with that. I understand your frustration. I do not think esports are a real sport, says Mr. Cruthando. Dan, say that on the radio, please.
You are a proud virgin.
A proud virgin. Yeah. Sorry, I can't come out tonight, sweetheart. I've got to play video games. I'm training. Anyway, Mr. Cruthando says, I don't think esports are a real sport. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. They're not considered a real sport, but they, like many sports, are team-based, skill-based, require a lot of concentration. Their physical exertion linked closely to stress, managing stress, hand-eye coordination. Like, is archery a real sport? Yeah, it is. It's in the Olympics. Shooting, it's in the Olympics. Right? Chess is considered a sport. At some point, our definition has to extend to embrace something that's new, doesn't it? And I think this is where we bump into the main problem. And I think maybe where Dan está chocando un poco is like we have a very clear idea of what we think sports are, but the definition doesn't always agree with us. Look, I don't think chess is a sport. I don't think golf is a sport. But they're considered sports, right? And what I think is wholly irrelevant. And if we're going to put shooting, archery, chess in the category of sports, then surely esports should be there too. Bridge says the best sport, dardos, darts. Have you ever played darts, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Been too drunk, and by the end the guy took the darts off me. But still, I have played somewhat. Anyway, so yeah, it's an interesting one. I did get some comments on Instagram with regards to this, what is proving to be quite a controversial topic. The vote is still live, by the way. Oh, no, it's not live. It's just finished. Never mind. I'm going to continue, Dan. Unperturbed. Tobias Eklund says, I'd count them as sports, honestly. The level of skill, reaction time, and competition is real. Yeah. No, but you're not physically present. Then when you're working from home, you're not really working. Right? When you're speaking to friends on the telephone, you're not really speaking. Right? Are we agreed on that? Yeah. Of course you're working when you're working from home. Of course you're having a conversation when you speak on the telephone. Of course you're engaging in a sport when you're playing esports. Right? Rachel Mitford said, I think physical activity is part of what defines a sport. Yes! Pardon me. Sorry, I've got a bit of, as I mentioned, some dodgy weather. Chess, dude. Rachel, chess. Give your head a wobble. Come on now. I think physical activity is part of what defines a sport, so esports feels separate to me. Then, we need to speak to whoever is in charge of defining the meaning of words, because chess is a sport. Getting annoyed, Dan. Yunus Demir says, sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of your name, I do love you. People said the same thing about chess not being a sport. Competition evolves. I think, can we give a ProBoh approved to Yunus here, please?
ProBoh approved.
50% of that ProBoh approved is because I think I butchered the pronunciation of your name, and the other 50% is because I agree. I think competition and the definitions of what is a sport and what is not evolve. And I think we're all so reticent, aren't we, to video games, they're for children. Got Alejandra yesterday on the first part of the show, right? We did the unpopular opinion. What's sexy at 18 but embarrassing at 30? She said playing video games. Playing video games is embarrassing at 30. Dude, I'm 48 nearly. And it's my go-to activity when there's nothing to watch on TV. Yeah, no. I think our definitions and opinions with regards to video games and video gaming needs to evolve as the genre has itself. Dan, you can't surely disagree that video games have evolved into far beyond what they were back when I was a kid, when it was Pong to vertical blocks playing tennis against each other, or Mario. They've evolved into rich narrative stories or skill-based competitions where people from across the world can compete and play against each other. The genre has evolved, or the format, the medium has evolved, and so should our reaction, our opinions towards it. But we haven't, because we're human beings, and oh boy, do we love to deny change. Makes us so nervous. Oh, different. This has changed. I don't like it. Why? Am I shifting your needle at all, Dan? No, not at all. All right.
No.
Let's continue.
If that sport is doing while being sit down.
If a sport is done while being sat down. Yeah.
It's not a sport.
So chess, not a sport.
No.
Search on Google for me a second. Search on Google, is chess a sport?
I've already searched it.
And what did it say?
They are both opinions.
There are both opinions.
Some say that it's a sport.
No. Check definition. Is chess? I'm going to do it myself here. Chess a sport. Yes, chess is officially recognized as a sport by the International Olympic Committee and more than 100 countries globally. There you go. I mean, look, you can't argue with the facts. That's not an opinion. It's just counting, right? Marina Velasquez says, when I finish with the poll, Dan, I'll give you my actual opinion on this. But the definition is the definition, friend. I mean, that's it. I might not agree, and there are a whole host of definitions I don't agree with, things that hold negative connotations that I think aren't necessarily negative, anger, for example, or fear. Those two words, those are two emotions that have negative connotations, but are extremely useful for us as human beings. Part of the human experience, pointing us towards what is important, what we need to protect, the direction we should be facing, our future. Grief, negative connotations, grief. But it is the one emotion that points us towards what we truly love and value. But because there are negative connotations, because I don't agree with the definition, doesn't mean that the word grief doesn't hold a certain meaning. And sport, all right, I may agree with you. Chess isn't a sport, but the definition remains the same, doesn't it? Marina Velasquez says, whether people like it or not, esports clearly require training, teamwork, and discipline. I agree. Let's see what people are saying. We've got more comments here in the chat. Artemisa says, good morning, beautiful bohemians. In my opinion, needing skills and strategy doesn't mean it's a sport. If that's true, would trading stocks also be considered a sport? No, it's gambling. There you go. I mean, I can't be any clearer about that one, I think. Carmen says, was it a joke or did you just sneeze saying chess, Rob? I did just sneeze saying chess. Right, because this is funny, right? It's a funny definition. I suppose the poll's over now. I don't think esports are a sport. I don't think chess is a sport. I don't think golf is a sport.
If just because it needs strategy and coordination,
yeah.
Ser un trabajador de comida rápida en hora punta es un deporte.
Well, it depends how there is no winner in being a fast food. There is not a competition, Dan. Again, look, I am so well practiced in arguing in favor of things I don't actually believe. I don't know what the truth is anymore, dude. Anyway, let's continue. Artemisa says, I think it would need a certain amount of physical activity. Chess, poker, both things regularly on sporting channels don't require that much physical activity, do they? Archery, golf, where they ride around on little buggies. They don't even walk to the next hole anymore. Come on, friends. Give our head a wobble. Perhaps esports aren't a sport, but we really need to redefine what a sport is, right? Ravdos is with us. Hi, Rob. Per Britannica, motor and mind sports. While sports primarily focus on human physical prowess, some involve motorized vehicles, for example, Formula One, or extreme strategic mental competition, chess or esports. Thank you, Ravdos. Yeah, go on, Dan.
No, I was telling you to move
the wire. Thank you, Dan. Yeah. So darts are definitely a sport. You're standing while you can. Yeah, and look, if you can drink alcohol while you're playing, it's not a sport. My darts prowess increases with the more beer I drink, Dan. Or at least I think it does. Look, pool, snooker, sports, BS, sports. How much physical activity is required? Donald Trump plays golf. It's not a sport, is it? Or is it? Well, as per the definition, yes, it is. Yes, it is. There you go. How much? I mean, look, it's a competition, right? I think we would all agree there. And I think what we maybe need is a better definition of the word sport. I think as per examples I've given, it's hard to deny that esports isn't a sport. But maybe we should have a little bit more, either have a bit more of a narrow brush as to what is a sport or not, or if we're going to continue with this wide brush, include esports into the fold of chess and golf, right? Yeah, but the computer's doing the hard work. Well, no, it isn't. I mean, it requires good strategy, strategic thinking, fast hand-eye coordination. And if you're going to make that argument, then an archer isn't doing any work. The bow is the one throwing the arrow towards the marker, isn't it? The gun is the one shooting the bullet towards the bullseye. The car is doing all the hard work in motorsports. Well, no, of course not. They all require good strategy, stress management, as does esports.
But they play video games.
They play video games. Well, chess is a game. Football is a game. You want me to continue? Basketball is a game. Do you want me to continue? I mean, every sport, in essence, is a game. It's a competition between two either teams or individuals, but it's a game, right? I mean, again, Dan, I get your reluctance. You're viejoven. You're like, I don't want change.
Don't call me viejoven again.
I don't want change. I like it. Poor Dan. Anyway, well, pole sport is a sport, and some people don't consider it that way, right? So, ouch. Pole sports. In my opinion, it would need to have physical activity, but that's only my opinion. Yeah. Well, let's get to our opinions, shall we? So I said esports are real sports, and you guys said 60% false. All right, let me be honest with you. I think anything that requires a panel of judges to vote who the winner is, I don't think that's a sport. I don't think there's enough competition involved, and I would put pole sports under that. There is no clear defined winner. There's no points that go beyond what a judge says. I also don't consider I don't consider darts, billiards, chess, golf. I don't consider those sports. Not enough physical exertion. I would put esports under that category. I really don't consider them sports. But guess what? That's my opinion. Because the definition of the word sport would include all those things. With the exception of poker. But poker is gambling, isn't it? It is, it's gambling, and there is so much luck required in winning poker. But again, the professional poker tournaments on sports channels. Yeah, I mean, it is the interesting thing about the definition of the word sport is it's so broad. The interesting thing for me is chess. International Olympic Committee considers it a sport as well as 100 countries globally. But look, no physical exertion. You know? I mean, if chess is a sport, friends, is esports really any different? I think it reveals more than what we consider a sport to be a sport or not. It reveals our attitudes towards video gaming. Still seen as quite juvenile and a silly pursuit. Whereas those of us who play video games and get engaged in narratives and storytelling of the amazing writers and artists that create them, we perhaps think a little differently. But you know what Grandpa Bo would say about all that, right? He'd say, Rob, that's just your opinion. And opinions, they're like buttholes. Everyone has one. They all stink, including mine. Let's move on to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God. It was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans and I asked them all a question. Today's question was, name a sport that isn't really a sport. Nombra un deporte que en realidad no sea un deporte. All right, guys. This is your option. This is your opportunity to tell me all the things you are keeping back in today's unpopular opinion. Name a sport that isn't really a sport. I did name many of them in the first part of the show. Big thank you to Fenokitty, Carmen, Pedro, Emily, Juan Areo, Ivan GP, Ivan Samrov, Anaka-san, Mia, Raj, and many, many others. Thank you, thank you. Dan, sport that isn't really a sport.
Chess.
Is chess there? Yes, it is, Dan. All right, let's go to the chat. Carmen says golf. Golf. Chess, by the way, ajedrez in Spanish. International people, Spanish learners, ajedrez. Is golf there? Yes, it is. Well done. Again, I'll just remind you, if you're saying, I'm a golfer and I'm an athlete. Yeah, you and Donald Trump, congratulations. You're both athletes. Give your head a wobble. Golf, is golf there? Of course it is. 28 of 100 humans said golf. It's the number one answer. If golf is a sport, so is hiking. Because that's literally it, isn't it? You just go and walking. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not rich enough to be into golf, sorry. Billiards, says Carmen. Billiards. Is billiards there? No, it's not. Or, as we say in the UK, pool. Well, I think actually pool is much more of an Americanism. We would say billiards. Billards. All right, let's go to turn our attention to our friends on Instagram. Fishing, says Fenokitty. Fishing. Yeah, you know competitive fishing exists, Dan. Yeah, it does. Is fishing there? No, it's not. Great answer, but it's not there. Oh, Carl Miller would be annoyed with Pedro's answer. Pedro says curling. Curling is where you throw the stone on the ice, and then there's a guy sweeping in front of it. Come on. Emily said fishing as well. Juan Areo, golf. And skateboarding. Which I think he said, hacer skate, no? Skateboarding. Is skateboarding there? No, it's not. A lot of people saying golf, chess. Well, Anaka-san here says playing online car races. Well, let's just extend that out to say esports, right? Is esports there? No, yes, it is. Of course it is. A sport that isn't really a sport. Yeah, there are things in here that I've mentioned that aren't sports. Just to give you a clue, I did mention one thing several times that is more to do with chance than it is with skill. Anyway, Bridge here says darts. Dardos. Is darts there? Yes, it is. Well done. 6 of 100 humans said darts. It's in 6th place. Well done, well done. Okay, let me give you a clue. So one of the answers is something I mentioned several times, but it has too much to do with luck. Con suerte, right? It's more like gambling, but there is some skill involved. What was that? Can you remember? Another one is Homer Simpson's favorite sport, and I'll leave the last one for the end. Dan's thinking Homer Simpson's favorite sport. All right, let me go back to Instagram. Mia just said it here. She says bowling, bolos, bowling. Homer Simpson. Yeah, Dan, I saw you nodding there. Ah, of course. Yeah, is bowling there? Yes, it is. Well done. Yeah, those bowling athletes out there. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, one of the answers here is strange to think of as a sport, but there are competitions. Why is it strange to think of this one? Because these people are involved in sports, but more animando los deportistas. What do we call those in English? They are the people who give encouragement from the sidelines, often dancing and doing athletic activities. What do we call those people, Dan?
Cheerleader.
Cheerleaders. So he's cheerleading there. Animación deportiva. Yes, it is, Dan. And you missed the last one. Let's go through the list. I asked people, nombra un deporte que en realidad no sea un deporte, a sport that isn't really a sport. In position number 7. Well done to you, Dan. Cheerleading was there. In position number 6. Darts, dardos. In position number 5. Esports, obviously the topic of today's unpopular opinion. In position number 4. Bowling, bolos. In position number 3. You missed this one. Poker is there. 11 of 100 humans. In position number 2. Ajedrez, chess. 24 of 100 humans. And finally, in position number 1. 28 of 100 humans said golf. Well done, guys. I've pissed off a bunch of rich people with my opinions on golf. I don't care. All right, friends. Look, that's all we've got time for today. And in fact, this week, I'll be back on Monday with more ProBoh Show. See you next time.